am sitting at the taverna with
Emma G.
Emma G. All right. So, for the listening audience or the reading audience, where are you from?
I was born in New Zealand, in a small beach town called Raglan, which is world renowned actually, for its surf, black sand beaches, really great waves. I do not surf. I spent a lot of my time looking at the ocean and writing music from the age of 10.
Were you literally, like, from your house, could you see the ocean or no?
Yes.
That's awesome.
My school population was 30. It was a small town.
Which island is this on?
This is on the North Island. But my mother is from Pennsylvania, my father's from Fiji, my grandfather was from Iran, and my grandmother's from Norway.
Okay, I'm figuring that those are the Norway and the Iran is from the mother side.
Yes. And my
Your
father
mother grew
is...
up in Pennsylvania?
Yes.
With an Iranian father and a Norwegian mother?
Yes.
That's very cool.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
I mean, that's part of the reason why I moved to America, was because being raised by my mother, a solo mother in New Zealand, I've been to Fiji 9 times, so I know somewhat what that means culturally for me as a whole. However, I don't really know much about Norway or my Norwegian heritage, and I don't know much about my Persian heritage either. So I moved here to be, on a cultural mission as well as a musical mission.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on my way here to America, I stopped off in Australia for 5 days, did some work with a DJ there doing vocals for a track that he'd written, that he made and I wrote the lyrics to, and then stopped in Vietnam for 2 weeks via Kuala Lumpur, and I was hoping to spend a bit more time in Kuala Lumpur, but as it turned out, I could only spend a night there, unfortunately. But then I ended up getting stranded in China for a night as well, which was an interesting experience.
Which city? Which airport?
Guangzhou.
Okay.
Yeah. So are you Jamaican?
Half. My father is American, my mother is Jamaican. I lived in Jamaica for 9 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I know that Kiwis generally tend to like Bob Marley. I don't know, do you feel that way or not?
My dad loves Bob Marley. I don't dislike him, but I'm not a reggae chick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a rock, pop, blues kind of girl. Soul music, R&B, but not reggae. Yeah.
So you're a blues rock chick. All right. So.
Well, that comes from growing up in Raglan as well. There's a lot of blues musicians that come from Raglan, yeah.
Oh,
Midge
wow.
Marsden is like a rock blues singer. He's one of New Zealand's iconic musicians. Midge, M-I-D-G-E, Marsden.
Okay.
He's amazing. I've known him since I was 4 years old. He's been knighted. He was knighted a couple of years ago.
Wow.
He's amazing.
Let's get abstract.
Okay.
Finish this sentence.
Okay.
Beauty is.
Beauty is how we see ourselves. Beauty is strength. Beauty is having a good soul. Beauty is connectedness. Beauty is us, really.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
But my 5th birthday, I lived on Cambrai Road in Raglan, and it was this beautiful house, and I was so excited because it meant that I could start school. Turning 5 was like, yeah, I can start school. So I remember having my 5th birthday party, and I wrote my first song, first official song, like pen to paper type thing, and it was called School is Cool. And that's when my mum was like, okay, you want to be a singer? I mean, she knew that I wanted to be a singer from the age of 3. I was always singing and dancing and things. Always. It was just born into me. I don't know how, but, whatever. But, yeah, I was 5 when I started writing when I wrote my first song, and then I kept writing, recorded my first song on a Waikato, which is like the state that I grew up in, on a Waikato and Bay of Plenty album when I was 10. I just kind of went.
5 is very young. That's like Beethoven type age. Like, but you were just singing.
The song was no sonata. It was, but it was just very, school was cool. I think I wrote another song. This was around the time when No Doubt came out with Just a Girl, and I just idolized Gwen Stefani. I still do, and so I wrote my own sort of feminist version of a similar, topic and similar nature when I was 7. And yeah, my mum was just like, okay, yeah,
you have
we
better
will
vocals
support
than
this.
Gwen Stefani.
I have better vocals than Gwen Stefani?
Definitely.
Oh my gosh, that's way
You
too
don't
kind.
think so?
I
You
think
her
she's.
vocals are great?
I think who she is great.
Right. She has the whole, it's like a whole kind of thing, but vocally, like your vocals are like.
Thank you.
People don't. I mean, you know this though.
I don't. I guess I don't really compare myself to other artists. People tell me, like, describe who you are, or what music you do. And I'm like, I've had to think really long and hard about that, and I'm literally just going off of what people have told me. So the synopsis I sort of came up with is, if Pink and Adele had a baby with Tracy Chapman, as godmother, that's the kind of music I write.
Tracy Chapman, so
Yeah.
Good if I book that.
Yay.
That's good. Assuming you've had a relationship while in New Zealand, how is love different in its expressions culturally in New Zealand than in the United States?
This is it's beautiful. When I first came here, and there's a few things. One, getting hit on in this country is incredibly polite.
Okay.
Incredibly polite. And to give you an example, like in New Zealand, you go out, you go drinking, one thing leads to another, and you wake up somewhere else, That's kind of how it rolls. And we don't date in New Zealand. We hang out with friends, and then that's kind of how that whole thing happens. It's just very different. You say that you're in a relationship, and then a week later you're not. That's New Zealand in a nutshell, pretty much. Here, I have had people randomly stop and buy me flowers, with nothing other than that. They're just like, I want to give you this flower. Have a great day.
After hearing you sing, or
even without having heard me sing. I was walking up to the Safeway from my house the other day. I was dressed in track pants and, I hadn't done my hair. I looked like a, hot mess. Had a guy drive past, toot his horn, pull over, cross the street and say, "I'm so sorry, that was really arrogant of me. Or can I take you out for lunch?" Which, that you just don't get that in New Zealand. Whereas in New Zealand, you'd get somebody tooting and yelling something slanderous outside the window,
and it works.
I mean, apparently. But yeah, I've never fallen for it. I'm usually the angry person that stands in the middle of the road yelling after them, saying, "Please come back, let me have your babies." But but yeah, I feel like men here are very polite when it comes to, men here are more prone to calling you beautiful, or just saying really lovely things, and without necessarily wanting anything to happen or stating or being pushy about it. In saying that, that's only some of the men in New Zealand. Like, by and large, Kiwi men are lovely. but it's the way in which some interactions occur back in New Zealand compared to some interactions here.
Gotcha. That's good. That's informative. That's great. Have you ever eaten Marmite?
Yeah. I was just talking to my mother about that last night. She's sending me a care package of actual New Zealand chocolate and Marmite.
Okay, so it's not like one of those things that, not like Vegemite where people talk about it, but they don't really like.
No. Marmite's good.
Okay.
I like Marmite. Well, it's a similar flavor, but I think less intense. But I like Marmite, yeah.
So, Emma G, why do you sing?
Okay, I'm about to drop a a mind bomb on
Okay,
you.
go ahead.
Okay, so I was born with a condition called hydrocephalus, a condition where I have a cyst in the middle of my brain, which blocks the aqueduct going down my spinal column. So cerebral spine fluid or brain fluid can enter into my head, but it can't escape. So I have a shunt, which is a tube, going from my brain to my stomach to drain out the water. As a result, I've had 24 surgeries, 10 brain surgeries. This is why I sing.
Wow.
Songwriting for me is the best way for me to communicate. My mother's a counsellor, and so she's taught me a lot of ways in which I can express myself. Music was the one thing that resonated with me the most. Now it's transformed into lifting weights as well, but songwriting and singing has been the way that I've always expressed myself. Come with that, the angst of teenagehood, blah, 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 and I've written over the years over 300 songs. That's just what I do. It's my way of, when I talk about connectedness, it's not just about, talking about love and hope and blah, 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 but it's about empowerment, it's about survival, it's about, yeah.
Is there anything that you want to advocate for? Any positions you want to advocate for?
How do you mean?
Okay, like, I've asked, I generally ask everybody that as my closing question. So some people are like, lesbian midget rights or, cancer patients and
Well, I think that lesbian midgets should have rights.
Especially lesbian midgets who have cancer.
Right, exactly. They more than anybody else should have rights. So I'm an advocate for a lot of things. I've always been involved in politics in New Zealand, so I'm all about rights in general, really. Black rights, human rights. I'm a feminist. I've been a teacher for the last 10 years, so I'm all about education. Excuse me. Overcoming, what's the word? Adversity. Youth rights. I've been a youth worker for the last 3 years. Basically, my life motto is don't be an arsehole. Yeah. Okay. We need to love each other more. We need to be able to, the world needs more love. If we can do that, then I think we're off to a really good start. I'm an advocate for positivity and for seeing the silver lining and making the best out of every situation. Just basically living and loving as much as we can. But yeah, I guess those are the main things. Gay rights are very important to me, just because I think that, again, back to the whole love thing, if we need more love in the world, why would we go against people who love each other? Freedom of choice, freedom of speech, all the things.
All right, well, thank you very much, Emma G.
Thank you.
Look forward to you and your performance on Monday at the MightyHIP event, and hopefully we get to work with you some more after that.
I'm excited.
All right.
Thank you.